Hello everybody, welcome to Technique Tuesday. Today I'm going to show you how to make a floating gatefold card. We've done gatefold cards before where you take a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock, but instead of scoring it at 4 1/4, we scored it 2 1/8 at each side and fold it into the middle. The floating part for this card comes into effect when you open it and these little inside pieces pop up to greet you. So they're on a little mechanism. So without further ado, let me show you how we go about that. So like I say, we take a piece of 8.5 by 5.5. We're not going to score it at 4 1/4. We're going to do it at 2 1/8 on each side. And for all you mathematicians out there, you know that 2 1/8 and 2 1/8 makes 4 1/4. So making sure we're using the scoring blade and not the cutting blade, we are going to do the scoring and then bring them each into the middle. So we just want to make sure that they are going to butt up nicely to each other before we sort of crease them into place with the bone folder. And then I'm going to attach some of the Cottage Gingham Designer Series paper. The last video that I did, I used the orange side and I thought, oh, it would be so nice to use the black and white side. Well, we are going to be using the penguin place and actually the coordinating stamp. No, it's not a stamp actually, is it? It's a punch. So we're using the stamps and the coordinating punch. So as penguins are black and white, what better excuse than to use your favorite color. So I'm just going to pop some adhesive down the sides of these, and these are 5 1/4 by 1 7/8, which layers nicely onto the 2 1/8 by 5 1/4. But as always, the directions and the dimensions of all the cutting will be down in the description at the bottom. So there we go, that's the first part done. The next part is to get some elements made. So what we're going to do is the floating elements inside are 2 1/4 inch black squares with 2 inch square white pieces, and the front is actually 3 1/2 by 3 for the black, and it's 3 by 2 3/4 for the layer that goes on top of it. And we're going to quickly pop some snowflakes onto them using the snowflake punch, which I've taken out and put onto the acrylic block. Just gonna quickly pop some snowflakes on. Just to give it a little bit of character and appropriate snowiness. So there we go. Oops. Quick and easy. It's not so drastic if it doesn't all fit, because they are going to be covered mostly by penguins anyway. So we'll just pop a little bit of scrap off to one side and go ahead and attach these onto their relevant piece. So that's 1, 2 inside pieces, and this is the outside layer. But the penguin on the outside is sitting on some snow, and in order to make it look like snow, I am going to actually tear the cardstock, because then the rough edge of the paper, I don't know if you can see that in the video, just has a bit more of a textured look, because you don't really get flat out unless it's compacted. That's not very straight, is it? Let me just quickly adjust that or it will be bothering me. So we're then going to pop the white piece on, which looks more like the snow with the torn edge. And then we're going to do a little bit more stamping. We're going to stamp it with the Mento black ink pad. And the front of the card is going to say, I love you a lotto. So that is going to go there. And inside, it's going to say, it's like a little, except a lot. So I'm just going to stamp this on this little slither, because we're going to actually cut that up and give it to the penguins to hold. But speaking of penguins, we haven't got any yet. So here, by the power of TV, Blue Peter, as I had when I was growing up, here are two penguins I made earlier, but I'm actually going to show you how we'll accomplish that. So we're going to pop the black cardstock in and punch one body out. We're going to pop some white into here and punch the body out. And then I am going to take a little bit of, just a little strip that I had left over of pumpkin pie and cut 2 feet. Oof. 1, 2. So now everybody's got a body, everybody's got a face, and everybody's got 2 feet. So we should all be happy. So what we need to do next is stamp some character onto these little guys. So I've gone ahead and taken the stamp, which is 2 eyeballs, which is this little stamp here. And again, using the basic black, I'm going to give everybody some eyes so they can see what they're doing. Whoops. And then I'll just pop that quickly back onto the plastic. And then the other little piece is to get the beak, which quite cutely actually manages to have a little smile. So let me just put the lid back on the black ink. I'll cause trouble with that. And then using the pumpkin pie, which matches their feet. Got cute little faces. Oh, I love these. They're so darn cute. Anywho, so there we go. That's everybody with all their body parts. So now we just have to go ahead and build them. So put all their pieces on. And then what I did earlier again was I went ahead and stamped the scarf, and I did it in Pool Party. So I'll just stick a little bit of adhesive on that one and pop that onto the guy who's going to be sitting on the front. So I'm now going to attach their message and their feet. And learning by trial and error, I've discovered that it's better to put the message in first and then add the feet over the top. Otherwise, you have to kill their toenails in order to get their little message on. So except it's a lot. And this little guy is going to say it's like a little. So then we're going to go ahead and put all of the feet on. And again, I'm just doing it on the silicone pad because I don't want the adhesive to get beyond where I want it to stick. Oops. Or stick to me even. Stop it. So as you can see, their feet just go a little bit over the message, so it was easier to make sure the message was on first. The little guy who's going on the front, of course, doesn't have to have that consideration, but it's still nice to treat them all equally. Equal rights for penguins, I say. Alrighty, so there we have 3 little penguins and 3 little bits of front. So what we need to do now is attach the mechanisms into the inside of the card. So what I did was I took 2 4 1/4 by 1 inch strips and I scored it at 1 inch, 1 1/2 inches and 3 3/4, which left a 1/2 inch. Did that twice. So we just need to fold those quickly, and where the long piece is, the 2 1/4 piece, I'm just going to quickly put some adhesive on there and detach these squares into place, just putting it more or less in the middle of the area. So what we want to do next is attach some tear and tape where it's going to be stuck down. And you know me, although I say tear and tape, I'm more of a cut and tape kind of girl. So oops. Just make sure it doesn't overhang, because that will help to stick the card together at an inopportune moment. We don't want that to happen. So there we go. Nicely cut tear and tape. Pop it into place. Now the trick to get them in the right place is to remove the backing paper, and the smaller 1/2 inch side is going to butt up against the edge. So what I like to do is I like to try and put it the same distance apart, so 1/8 of an inch matches the 1/8 of an inch layer. Butt it up against the edge and close it, and it will grab it. And then in order to do the other side, I just fold it over so it's flush with the edge of the layer that the penguin in this instance is going to sit on, and close the back, and then it puts it in the right place. Otherwise it's a little bit too far over and it gets caught, whereas if you close the card onto it, it's actually going to be sitting in the right place. So we'll just quickly do the other side the same way. So we're going to put it 1/8 of an inch from the top, butt it up against the side and close it down, and then when it flips it over, close it all the way over so it's flush with this edge. Oops. And close the back onto it, so when you open the card, both pieces float up equally and evenly. So now we just need to pop these little guys inside, and I'm going to do that with dimensionals. So we'll just pop 2 on these little guys and quickly remove their backing paper. And then of course we just have to remember the order in which the saying goes. So it's I like you a lot'll, it's like a little goes first, except a lot. So we pop those 2 onto those pieces, and then this little guy is going to sit in the snow. So we're just going to lift it up just a little and pop him in. And then you remember the trick when we have a gatefold or a ZZ fold, in order that you don't put too much sticky so it shows here, we turn it over. So make sure it's the right way up, turn it over so you can see by the edge where you can put your adhesive as far as, and then it's not going to show. So it's here, here's the sticky, and we are just going to stick it down. And then the last little bit is some bling, because who doesn't like a bit of bling? And we are going to put, these are the artisanal, let me just see what their official name is, Artistry Blooms adhesive back sequins. They are so lovely, and they're so the appropriate colour for this little guy. So we'll put one there and one up at the top. And last but not least, we're going to take the Winker Stella, which is a glitter pen, and just along the top of the snow we are just going to add a little bit of glitter, so it looks like it's shimmering in the moonlight. I don't know if you can, actually I don't think it's going to show up on the video, but take my word for it, it does. So that glimmers nicely. So there's the card. I like you a lot'll. It's like a little except a lot. There's plenty space for signing the card. I thought it was really neat idea. I love the little bits of bling, and the penguin set and the punch and the Gingham Cottage Gingham Designer Series paper are all available in the current mini catalogue, which started on July 1st. So this is current now. And so is the celebration, which started on July 1st. It runs to the end of August. And for every $50 you spend in the mini catalogue and the main catalogue, you can choose a set out of here for free. So, and obviously the more $50 you spend, the more different sets you can choose from. So if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your person. If you don't have a catalogue or a celebration catalogue, just message me and I will be more than happy to send you on, because I would hate to think there are people out there in the world missing out on all the free stuff. So there you go, a floating gatefold card. Good luck with your celebrating, and thank you so much for watching.